Hi, so today I'm going to be showing you how to use the scroll saws. Okay. Now there are several different models that we have, but they all operate in basically the same way. Now, first thing we have to do is we have to make sure we have our safety glasses on. And we'll also have to make sure that we tie back any long hair if we have long hair. And if we have any loose clothing, say like a necktie or baggy sleeves, we would roll them up or secure them so that they don't get caught in the actual machine. Now, there's only one adjustment that you can make on the scroll saw, okay? And that is the height of the guard right here, okay? Now, you guys shouldn't need to raise or lower this because we're all going to be cutting the same thickness of wood. Okay? But if I was cutting a piece of wood that was thicker, I would have to raise this up in order to accommodate that. Okay? And what the guard does is it holds down the wood to keep it from bouncing and shaking. Okay? Now, it helps, but you still have to use both hands to hold it down to make sure it's at a minimum. Okay? So you can see the guard is set so that the piece of wood can go underneath, but it's barely touching. When you're cutting, don't rush. Okay? If it feels like you have to push really hard, there's probably something that's wrong. There might be a piece of wood that's caught preventing you, but either way, turn it off, see if you can figure out what the problem is, and if you can't, call me over, okay, and we'll figure it out together. So let me show you how fast you should actually cut. So I have a piece of wood here, so I'm just going to cut this in the middle, okay, and I'm holding it down with both hands. Okay. Now if I was cutting the edge here, I would put both hands on one side, okay. And I would never put my finger in front of the blade because if my finger slips, it's going to go into the blade. Okay? So either put them on both sides or put them both on one side. Okay? But always use two hands. So. Okay. So you can see you don't have to push very hard. You just let the blade do the cutting. Okay. Now, if I had a piece of scrap wood back here, okay, before reaching and getting it, make sure you turn the machine off. You don't want to reach in with a moving blade. Okay. And even if there aren't any scrap pieces, before you walk away, make sure it's off. Okay. You don't want to walk away with the machine still running. Now, I mentioned that there are several different models, and the only real difference is how you turn them on and off. Okay, so you can see this one has a vertical toggle switch. This one also has a vertical toggle switch right here. Okay. This one has a horizontal toggle switch that goes left and right. This one actually uses a light switch to turn it on and off. And this one uses a knob that you twist to turn it on and off. Lastly, I'm going to show you what you need to do if you're cutting a curve. So here on this board, I've drawn a curve here to curve this corner. Okay. Now, before I start cutting my curve, I'm going to draw and cut what are called relief cuts. So, relief cuts are straight lines that go from the curve to the edge of the piece of wood. So, like that. Okay, I'm going to cut these straight lines first before I do my curve. So now that I have my relief cuts cut, I'm going to cut my curve. And as I'm cutting my curve, these pieces will pop off as I go. And if I need to readjust, I can readjust without worrying about twisting and breaking the blade. Now, the curve might be a little bit rough, but that's something that we can easily take care of with the sanders. And that's all you need to know in order to use the scroll saws.